Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Lovers. It's predictions time here on the channel. So, today, as you guys can tell, we have some preseason week number 1 predictions to go over. Last week, we talked about the Hall of Fame game. This week, we do have a full slate of games to talk about here, starting with tomorrow on the channel with my team taking on the New England Patriots, I believe. But of course, before we start that, if you guys are new to the channel, obviously be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. So, with that being said, tomorrow you guys are getting our UNC Wilmington Dynasty Friday 2 videos for you guys, because D23 is this weekend for Marvel Studios. We just had San Diego Comic-Con. We recapped all that news. We talked about that, but in the coming days, Marvel Studios is going to do another presentation at D23 this weekend. So we're going to talk D23, what to expect from that. And then Monday next week, we will have reactions along with Media Week starting next week as well, I believe. So you guys are into all that. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn that bell on. Let's go ahead, hop right into some NFL week number 1 preseason predictions. Alright, here we are with our first game here. There's different days this week, so preseason's kind of weird. They do have games on Fridays to kind of get them out the way. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all games all weekend. Starting tomorrow with the first preseason game, or second preseason game, of the year, first of week 1. That is the Carolina Panthers going in to the New England Patriots. Now, again, this is a preseason game. Bryce Young is not going to play. Coach Canales has already said that. But I'm wondering if Mingo, Leggett, obviously Adam Thielen, if those guys are going to play as well. Sorry, I had to look over there for a second. But, again, that's where I'm at with that one. New England, Drake May. Look for their quarterback room. Obviously, Joe Milton may get a couple of reps in as well as they try to decide who their starter is going to be going into week 1. But nothing beyond that point. But I do have Carolina taking the dub and going 1-0 in the preseason on the road in New England. Moving on to our next game here on Thursday. That is the Detroit Lions going into the New York Giants. I honestly think that Detroit's second-string team is better than New York's second-string team as well. So for me, I am going with Detroit based on that factor. Now, I don't think Jared Goff or Amon-Ra St. Brown are going to be playing in this preseason Week 1 game. But, again, regardless, I think the second team for Detroit is better than the second team for New York. So, with that logic, obviously I got to go with the away team and go with the Detroit Lions. Here we are going into Friday with the first matchup on Friday. That is the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Miami Dolphins. And what would normally be Kirk Cousins versus Tua, probably not going to happen this week. Maybe Tua and the starters will get a drive or two in with the Detroit or with that Miami offense, but I'm not sure about that. Atlanta, no word on them yet either. So, again, not totally sure, up in the air, but I'm going to go with the home team and go with the Miami Dolphins here. Again, I just think with the new coach that they have, Raheem Morris for the Falcons, that the Miami offense is not going to be clicking. So, again, Miami is going to get the dub in preseason week number 1 at home against the Falcons. Up next is Houston at Pittsburgh. You guys know I got to go with my guy CJ Stroud here. Even if he is not going to play in the Hall of Fame, or he is not going to play, I still got to roll with the Texans. I like John Mechie III. Obviously, he was battling cancer, so he couldn't really play, but he is back. He's healthy. He looked really good in that preseason Week 1 or Hall of Fame game. Lost. I keep calling it Week 1, but it is what it is. But other than that, I think that their starters, Davis Mills, is going to have another chance to kind of solidify as well as the backup. So that is why I'm going with Houston and taking C.J. Stroud and the Texans in this one. Moving on to Philadelphia at Baltimore, the final game here on Friday. This one's going to be tough because, again, both starters aren't going to play. I actually do like the Ravens in this matchup. I believe the Ravens' backup is Tyler Huntley, if I'm not mistaken, for Lamar Jackson. So, with that said, I think he can play great as a QB2. So, give me Lamar Jackson as the Baltimore Ravens will get the dub at home against the Eagles. Moving on from that one, it is on Saturday now. So, there are about 7 games on Saturday. I'm going to run through all of them really quickly just to kind of save time on the video. We'll do Saturday and one long segment, starting with Washington at New York. I'm not expecting Aaron Rodgers to play in this game. Might add start with that. But Washington side of things, Jaden Daniels is going to start the preseason for the Washington Commanders, which is really good to hear considering how he's a rookie and needs to get things going. Unlike the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams, Washington has a pretty good plan for them. So I'm taking Washington here on the road in New York. Moving on, speaking of the Chicago Bears, the Bears at Buffalo. Give me Buffalo here, as I think they're the better team in this one, especially second stringers. Moving on is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Minnesota Vikings. Two quarterbacks, actually, in which I know pretty well. Carter Bradley, I believe, is going to start this game for the Las Vegas Raiders. He is the draft pick out of South Alabama. And then, of course, Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy is possibly going to be starting this preseason game as well. I'm not expecting Jake Jettis to play. I'm not expecting Devontae Adams to play in this regular season game. But I am expecting a really good quarterback battle of rookies in this one. So give me Las Vegas to take the L at Minnesota in this one. Now, moving on is Green Bay and Cleveland. Give me Green Bay in this one. I'm wondering if the Packers are going to play Jordan Love in this game. Again, it is preseason, so we don't know what is going on. But if Jordan Love plays, then the Packers are definitely going to get the dub here. Moving on, it is Tampa at Cincinnati. This one is going to be interesting. I think I'm going to take Tampa here, though. I like Kyle Trask as the backup quarterback for Tampa. I've been saying it a little bit last year, just kind of off bits and pieces. I expect him to start this preseason game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so I'm going to go with them at Cleveland on the road. Moving on is San Fran at Tennessee. Give me Tennessee, especially if Will Levis is going to play. That's who I got in that one. Kansas City at Jacksonville. Now, Coach Reed is a believer in the starters playing in preseason games. With that said, I think the Chiefs starters, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the starting offensive line, Chris Jones, the defensive tackle, I think all of them are going to be playing probably about a quarter max is what Coach Reed says. It's been a recurring theme that he likes to do in these preseason games to kind of give them a few quarters of reps. So give me Kansas City on the road in Jacksonville, and this one solely off of that factor. Moving on is Seattle at Los Angeles. Jim Harbaugh's coaching debut in Los Angeles. I think it's going to go sideways, and I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks here in preseason week one. And then our final game to end it out, it is New Orleans at Arizona. This one is tough just because, again, I like Kyler Murray for the Cardinals. I really do. But I think that Spencer Rattler, Jake Browning for the Saints, all of those guys are going to put up some big-time numbers here in this preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals. That rounds up Saturday. Let's talk Sunday in NFL preseason. And then last but not least, NFL preseason Sunday. There are two games on Sunday. Starting off with the first one, that is Denver at Indy. I'm going to go with Denver here. Denver's quarterback room is kind of iffy. Personally, for me, I think Zach Wilson should be listed third on the depth chart between Bo Nix and then Jarrett Stidham. But I do not expect Jarrett Stidham to play, especially if it's going to be the starter going into week one. I will, however, expect Bo Nix to play in this game and get meaningful reps with Zach Wilson as well in this game. So solely off of that factor, I think they're a little bit more experienced with Zach Wilson in that corner. Give me the Denver Broncos in that one. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys going into Los Angeles. This one is going to be a big iffy one just because, again, Dak Prescott's not going to play. CeeDee Lamb's holding out for his contract, so the starters aren't going to be playing. But Trey Lance, if he can get this offense going and the second stringers for that offense, like Jalen Tolbert, he's going to definitely have some meaningful reps this year, especially in the preseason, because he's going to be one of the better guys to be counted on this year just because of CeeDee Lamb's contract issues. Give me the Dallas Cowboys here on the road as we take on the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday and get the dub in preseason week number one. Anyway, of course, that is where I'm going to cut it for today's video. Once again, if you have not already, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that being said, I'm going to hop off. It's edited so you guys can watch it on time. This video is probably going to drop somewhere between the 5:30 to 6 o'clock range. I've been super busy today, so I have not been able to post this, but we have gotten it out for you guys. Tomorrow we will have the normal content update for you guys as well. Starting off though, probably within the next couple of weeks, you're going to see some time changes as to videos being released, just because school is starting back up and stuff like that. Going to be super busy. But other than that, should be good to go. Still getting videos out for you guys daily. So hit that sub button, leave a comment, stick around. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.